for December 2021. So Sunday, December 19th, we have two very important events taking place just hours within the full moon in Gemini energy. The first being Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and money. She is in Capricorn and she is going retrograde. So let's talk about this. This is going to be a very important aspect, not only for wrapping up 2021, but for setting the tone, setting the foundation down for 2022. Venus in Capricorn definitely got her business hat on, right? She's very serious. She needs to kind of, take an inventory, take a stock of what she's been doing. And this is an exploration in our own self-worth and our own happiness and our own joy. Yes, it has a lot to do with the relationships that we choose to pour into and nurture, but it also has to do with our value, where our skills and our talents are concerned, how we show up in this earthly realm, what it is that we're pouring into, what it is that we're nurturing that does not provide us with a sense of worth, a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness. And Venus going retrograde, she's moving inwards. She's going into the underworld, right? She is slowing us down, taking us into an internalized journey of the heart and soul to get really real with ourselves. So we have a couple of things that we have to really focus on with Venus going retrograde. Now, many people, especially out in the foo-foo astro realm, they'll only want to talk about, oh, your ex-lovers are coming back. Venus retrograde, ex-lovers coming back, blah, 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 blah. No. Yes, of course, that's a possibility, but at the bottom line, nitty-gritty of what this particular life lesson is going to do, this is a life lesson in love for ourselves. First and foremost. Many of us do not advocate for ourselves. Many of us do not see our own worth, our own value. Many of us put ourselves in relationships that do nothing but mirror back our pain, our trauma, our wounds. We're tired of it. We're bossing up. And in order to boss up, we have to strip away the pain, the trauma, the narrative, the storyline, the soul contracts that have brought us to this point. We have to take a good look at our connection with ourselves, the love that we have for ourselves, because here's the thing, the money that we make in this physical realm is merely a reflection of the inner work in which we've done with ourselves. It is a monetary reward for the inner love, the inner value that we have within ourselves. We have to take a good look at our relationships, not just romantic ones, friendships with family members, partnerships in business. Why? Because we've taught these people how to treat us based off of the way we feel about ourselves. This retrograde is going to take us back to a place where we get to strip away all the pain, all the trauma, all the sufferings of our previous experiences and have us connect the dots on what was going on within ourselves to actually manifest that kind of situation to be mirrored back to us. Even more than that, we're going to have to take a good look at where it is that we have been dimming our light to make other people's light seems brighter. We got to stop doing that. We have to recognize that we are the stars of our own movies. We have to stop taking on the co-starring, supporting role in our own lives. We put other people ahead of ourselves. This is about power. Venus is the feminine, divine energy. She births life, creates life. And from that creation point, we have to be very real with the vibration and frequency that we're embodying, because we're either going to be birthing and creating situations, foundations, routines, relationships, money matters that are reflecting our low self-esteem, our low self-love, or hit the highest point and give us all the rewards and blessings that we 100% are deserving of. This is going to be a very interesting time for us because it's going to take us into the new year. The new year, 2022, is all about perfecting the experimental process that we've been going through in 2021 It's been an adjustment phase. We've been dabbling in different things. 2022 is about stabilization, about building foundations, perfecting our skills, unifying with the right kind of energy, right? The feminine divine energy, she's going through her purge while Venus is in retrograde. Mars, the masculine energy, he's absolutely reinventing how it is that he is asserting and pursuing and aggressing himself in life in order to get to where it is that he wants to be with passions and desires. And there's going to be a beautiful opportunity in the new year where these two are going to come together. Venus and Mars, again, spend their whole eternity chasing each other throughout the cosmos, have very limited times where they are conjunct, sitting next to one another in the cosmos, where feminine and masculine energies have an opportunity to balance and unify with one another within us, within the cosmos. It's going to be a very powerful time. And we can't talk about Venus's retrograde without talking about the fact that Pluto, okay, the god of the underworld, the great, destroyer himself. Why does he destroy? Because that's how we transform. You have to break down before you break through. So December 11th, Venus just conjuncted Pluto for the first time. This is going to be a set of 3, okay, that they're going to bump into one another. Now, Venus is now kind of riding off the coattails. She's going down into the underworld where Pluto is the god, to strip away her ego identity, to really take a good look at her shame, her guilt. This is the shadow process of the feminine divine energy, especially where worth and value is concerned, because Venus is in Capricorn. We're talking about long-term investments in ourselves, long-term investments in our skills and talents, in our relationships. And in order for us to kind of realign, because Lord knows we had a lot of information emerge just as of late, changing our truth, changing our trajectory forward, now we got to do the work inside of ourselves to strip away the fluff, the ego identity, the pain and the trauma that is built into our ego identity, in order to strip us away, humble ourselves back to pure source, so that we can reemerge when she comes direct as a brand new being, a brand new energy, a brand new frequency, where new values, new worth are now locked in, where we are upping our game. And in that, we are expecting others in our relationships to up their game to meet us where it is that we are now reemerging from. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a little bit turbulent, because that's how all beautiful transformations are kind of conducted. I want you to think of the butterfly transforming, right? He's pretty ugly as a caterpillar. He has to resolve himself to a puddle of goo in that cocoon in order to transform and emerge as this beautiful butterfly that can fly away to a higher perspective and see new worth and value from the earth that they've created below. It's a very powerful time. With that being said, just hours after Venus decides to go into the underworld, and again, just a couple of points for you here. We went into the shadow period November 17th. She's going retrograde on the 19th. She's going to reemerge, come into a full morning star on the 29th, okay? And then the shadow period continues until early March. So we want to be very mindful that when a planet is in a sign for this long, especially doing a retrograde, this is a huge major life lesson that will totally transform our long-term look on ourselves, on our relationships, on our money matters, on our worth. This is a big deal. So like I said, hours later, we have Chiron, the wounded healer, going direct. Chiron is in Aries, entered into Aries in 2018, locked in 2019 for good after retrograding back into Pisces. Chiron shows us where our wounds are alive and well and where it is that we need to heal them. Chiron retrograde since July of this year has been teaching us some very tough love life lessons in our ego identity, where the pain and the trauma has been built into who it is that we now think that we are, how it is that we present ourselves to be because of the pain and the trauma that we've experienced. The last, let's say 5-6 months-ish have been a really tough go on where it is that we've had to face some very, very ugly parts of ourselves. And that wound needed to be acknowledged, needed to be accepted, needed to be integrated in its fullest. And now we've had some aha moments. We pluck out the life lessons. We pluck out the spiritual wisdom from the hardships in which we've had to endure. And now that Chiron is going direct, we get to take that internalized energy, we get to actually force it in our external realms. A retrograde takes the energy inwards. We have to do an internalized healing journey. When a planet goes direct, we get to take that knowledge, take that wisdom, take that energy and exert it outside of ourselves. So now we're riding high. This Aries energy is a fire energy. We're bold, we're brave, we're courageous. We don't want to look back. We only want to pursue new passions, new desires. We want new experiences. We have integrated the spiritual lessons that these tough love life lessons were meant to teach us, stripping away who it is that we thought that we were based off of the pain and the trauma that we had to suffer in our soul contracts up into this place in our lives to be who it is that we need to be in this present moment, to be prepared to become the people that we need to be in the future, to receive the blessings, the rewards for our pain and our suffering. This is evolution. This is enlightenment. This is awareness. This is a major shift and transformation, especially riding off the coattails of the full moon in Gemini, where we busted our minds wide open, where we had the most optimistic and confident energy to create a brand new reality that now we are hitting the ground in order to manifest and pursue. Only hours before the solstice energy, just hours before the universe hits that reset button and game is on. We come into Capricorn season, the builder, the manifester, the creator of long-term foundations, of value, of worth, that now, because we've been doing the inner work, we're in a much better place in our physical realms to actually work with, actually create, actually build, and actually be open to receiving. Again, super powerful time. This is going to be a crazy week. I definitely recommend that you listen to the energy forecast for December, refresh yourself on what this energy is supposed to be. Listen to the zodiac forecast that I put out there so that you know where these particular astro events are showing up in your life, and listen to the ascension forecast for this week to help you navigate what is going to be a very turbulent energy.